No, Angel. Say good morning to everybody. Gonna say good morning? Huh? You ornery thing, you. She's full of herself this morning. Good morning. Got my coffee. I've got an electric heater going because it's going to be too warm to have the kerosene heater on this morning. Isn't that wonderful? I tell you, what a week. Oh, what a week. It has been so crazy. I'm sorry I didn't get another video up. I was working on another video, editing it, and then my computer shut down. And when my computer shut down, on its own whim, for whatever reason, it does that every now and then, the video that I was editing apparently was not saved. So everything I had done, I had to redo. So I've been trying to work on that, but I haven't had a lot of time to do that because I've been so busy here. This weekend was the community cleanup days in my town. And that's wonderful. Oh, great. I get all that stuff from the backyard and the garage that we cleaned out last week, and we'll get it out, get the brush from the plumber, put out to the side of the road. So that's what I did. We concentrated on that. Plus, my sister was coming to work in the attic because she had a bunch of stuff stored up there. Oh, I tell you, what has been my one complaint? Oh, my husband's precious books. He will not part with a single one. Well, going into the attic to deal with my sister's stuff. And we get through a lot of stuff. We find a bunch of stuff from her ex-husband that he left here. So she's going to make arrangements for him to get that. Good morning, Mark. How are you this morning? Thank you for joining us this morning. So we get her ex-husband's stuff off to the side, and then we get down to what's in the bottom of all this stack of her stuff. And at one point, I am sitting on a box of books. I'm holding a box of books. I am surrounded by boxes of books. And I said to her, I am living my nightmare. Because they had a bunch of books that was stored there. And when she left Saturday, she did not take a single box of books with her. Now, she took a bunch of stuff, but she could only fit so much in her trunk. So she's going to have to make another trip here to finish clearing her stuff out. And she has to find out what she's supposed to do with her ex-husband's belongings that she found and some very precious things to him. So, Mark, I hope you got your coffee. It's a beautiful morning for a cup of coffee. I'm enjoying mine, I tell you. So we dealt with the attic on Saturday. And of course, my sister didn't get here till afternoon, so we didn't have all day. I'm the kind of person, I get up early and I get to it, but she's got things she's got to deal with. So we had that on Saturday, and also trying to get her 14-year-old son was here, and he was supposed to be doing the hauling stuff out from the backyard. And well, 14-year-old kids are easily distracted, and he did have fun playing with my new Sawzall, though. Well, not Sawzall. What is it called? Reciprocating saw that I had just got. So he had fun playing with that, and he cut out down a few more things. He didn't get everything cut down, and I'll deal with that later. I'm not as concerned about the stuff in the backyard as I am what was in the garage and what was in the house. So that's coming. I put my foot down this year, and because my husband had been having so many problems with the lawnmower last year, and he was talking about having to buy a new lawnmower this year. It's like, wait a minute, we're moving in just a few months. And where we're moving to, you were really going to want a riding lawnmower. So it's like, no, let's not put the money into a new push mower here. I'm just going to pay somebody to mow the lawn. It's a postage stamp size lot. I'm just going to pay somebody to do it. So he came on Sunday afternoon, early Sunday evening. Okay. And he did that. And he did a really good job. He came recommended. I asked a local person that was helping me out here to recommend somebody, and she did. And I called him, and he did a really, really good job. I was very happy. I think I more than got my money's worth. And I told him, I said, my husband's really particular about doing the lawn, and he will probably complain. Once the guy was done, my husband did not complain. So the next time he comes out, I'll tell him, awesome job. I'm very happy I did that. Takes a load off of my husband. He doesn't have to worry about that now. Concentrate on getting stuff done in this house. I've got almost everything done. He still has his room to do. And he's kind of very particular. He wants to do it himself. Okay, fine. But there's still stuff that needs to be cleared out. But we are making serious progress. My brother-in-law brought a bunch of boxes over yesterday, the other day, whatever. Anyways, so I can start packing better because we had boxes, but we ended up putting a lot of stuff in there for taking to a charity for donation. Because, like I said, I'm minimizing. I'm scaling back as much as I possibly can. Because the more we have, the more it's going to cost us to move. I mean, we're not just talking about down the street. We're not just talking about the next town over. We're talking about moving several states away. Good morning, Cece. Well, I would love to have sheep, except the town I live in seems to have a problem with them, and I don't think I can disguise them as a puppy dog. You show me some sheep that know how to bark, and then I could probably do it here. I hope everything works out too. It's like everything, it's a process. It's a process. Weeding through things, getting rid of things, cleaning out things. We still have to go down to Kentucky and look for property. I'm hoping we can do that by the end of May. The thing is that my father may be having cataract surgery, and I really would rather him do that up here before we move. So his appointment for evaluation is on the 4th of May. So I can't make any plans until after that day for an exact date to go down and look for property. So my husband is done in a couple of weeks. So hopefully he'll have some time then to. They can't bark. How am I supposed to get a sheep in my backyard if they don't bark? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've done it many times too. We are looking at buying property. I've got my own a few places down there. Land is significantly cheaper down there than it is up here in New Jersey. And we're looking. I need to have a minimum. My bare bones, absolute minimum amount of land is 3 acres, but I'm shooting for over 10. Okay. And in Kentucky, I've seen several places where, we can do it. So then there's one even that's like 30 acres. It's looks like it might be something that we can work with, but you don't know until you get down there. So hopefully things go well. Like with his cataract surgery, I think it will help his spirits. It'll clear his vision up. He wasn't going to do it, but it's like, you know what? You're going to want to see Kentucky. He is so looking forward to moving to Kentucky. So I think it'd be better to have it done up here than down there. As we are going to have a lot more work to do down there. That's what I figured. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. And it's like I've already talked to a horse transportation company. So I know what to expect there. So Honey can join me. I wasn't going to transport her myself that distance. For one thing, I do not own a horse trailer yet. I've been looking, but of course, when I wasn't looking to move, I could find all kinds of the trailers, exactly what I wanted for sale up here, used. Can I find one now? No. So they're just not there. I've been looking. So I figured, well, for that far a distance, I'm better off using a professional transportation company. This one, they drive straight through. They have 2 drivers. They use a semi, so hopefully they won't have a problem loading Honey on that. She loads well. She's been loaded in different kinds of trailers, but never on a semi. So hopefully she's not a problem. But the plan is that we'll go down first so that I can make sure that I have everything set up. I had to put up the electric because I am not about to have her down there without the electric fence. Yeah, thank you. She does well. She's been trailered so many times. It's old hat for her. She just jumps on the trailer, no problems. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, some places that I've looked at, they have structures already. Some don't. So it all depends on the land as to what we get. If there's already structure, then I don't have to worry so much about shelter for her. But almost every piece I've looked at, I'm going to have to put up fencing. So that's what I figure. I figure that's one of the first things I'm going to have to deal with is fencing. So once I have that up or have it pretty much up, I can contact the transportation company. My friend up here will load her for me. The vet is coming out to the farm tomorrow. So I'm going to go over and talk to her and just find out exactly how much it's going to cost have everything done that I need to have done and how much of a time frame she's looking at. Because I believe the Coggins test has to be within 30 days of transportation. So she might have a better idea, but I'm pretty sure it's within 30 days. So, and then they have to have a health cert done. I know that. And I figure since I'm going to have her come out for that, I might as well just wait until then to have her shots done. So, and get everything done at once. And that'll save me the price of the 2 farm visits. So that's the plan on that end. So I don't know if there will be a house or if we'll get one of those Amish sheds. I've got one picked out. There are different laws to a certain point in each state. Okay. It's pretty much required across the country that they have to have a negative Coggins for transporting across state lines. That I know. As to other regulations, yeah, there's some differences, but it's not a huge difference. The big thing is taxes. Where we're going, the taxes are a lot cheaper. Right now, I live in New Jersey, and it's the taxes are very high, very high. Excuse me. It's very expensive in this state. I'd say it's neck and neck with California. Okay, I think California might have its beat when it comes to property prices, but I think New Jersey's trying to catch up. So, in Kentucky, it's significantly cheaper, and that's why we're going there. And also, at least when I did the research, they did not tax retirement income. Well, good morning, Dizzy. It's about time you got here. You're a little late this morning. Yeah, Dizzy's the one that's going to put honey on the trailer. Right, Dizzy? For when we move. Yeah, I know. I understand. I almost forgot what day. I was thinking yesterday was Wednesday. I was thinking, oh, man, I got to go live, and I don't really feel like it because I was still sore yesterday. Oh, you have to work today? Oh, stink. Well, hopefully you won't have to work too long because of the rain. Because, yeah, it's a rainy day today, and hopefully things won't get too flooded. But, by the way, how's the sound? Because I have an electric heater going right here. So let me know, guys, if it's too much of a background noise, I can shut it off. Yeah, I know the feeling, counting the days. I was doing that too when I quit my job. And I've been busier since. I'll tell you. So, anyways, I was talking about this weekend with spring cleaning in my town. Okay. So we got all the brush out on the side of the curb. Okay. And they've had this restriction about you can only put 4 bags of trash out now. They used to not have a limit. Now they have a limit. So when my husband put the trash out Sunday night, he put out the regular 1 bag of regular household trash and then 3 additional bags of trash. Yeah, I saw that they were calling for rain as well on Friday, but not much, I don't think. So I went and I put 4 more bags out there. Well, he had a bloody fit. He was sure that they weren't going to take it. I said, it's community cleanup weekend. They're going to take it. So I left it at that. And then I went and after he left to go to work, I went and I started taking more bags out, more bags. I was taking 2 at a time. Now, this was after I had cleaned up the brush that my 14-year-old nephew missed, and my husband as well, because he was badly aching about it too. But I cleaned up the rest of that, and I put that out to the curb, and then I started taking out more trash bags. Okay, and I did not stop until I saw the trash truck coming up from up the street. That's when I stopped putting trash bags out. And I did take a picture of how many trash bags I had out. So they came and they took every single one of them. They were all gone. Okay, so now left the brush. Okay, right? Nobody showed up. The people that were here to do our lawn on Sunday night, she said that she had seen a truck coming around, but they hadn't done the street that I live on. So, gee, I wonder why, Dizzy. Why is your trash can full? Can't imagine why. She stopped here and picked up some trash bags yesterday. So, anyways, the brush wasn't picked up. So I had gone yesterday afternoon to run some errands, late afternoon to run some errands. Okay, not yesterday, Monday. Monday I had gone off to run some errands, and while I was out, the code enforcement officer showed up at my door. My 82-year-old father, who walks with a cane and is obviously not in the best of health, answered the door, and this guy, according to what my father tells me, yelled at him for the brush being out front. Said, "You can't have it there. It's got to be gone." And it's like, okay. He said, "First off, I'm not the property owner." And I don't know what else transpired. I mean, I don't know how good my father's memory is. So anyway, the guy handed this new book to my father about the regulations for trash pickup. It's like, I'd already been through it. But I got this flyer. See, I got this flyer. Community cleanup days, okay? And it says, clean up your neighborhood, clean up your house, clean up your yard, get rid of twigs, branches, recyclables, white goods. Garage is supposed to be junk, but it says jump. Attic junk, ... Okay? Fine. That was dated for Saturday. I had no stuff out. Okay? So, I don't know what his problem was. Well, by the time I got home, the office was closed. I tried calling. Nobody answered. So, whatever. I didn't have time to deal with it that time. I had to deal with dinner. It's like, I'm not dealing with it, you know? I did what I thought I was supposed to do. So, okay. I had to do laundry yesterday. That means I had to leave the house. Okay? And so I'm getting ready to leave. And if I had time, I would have dealt with the brush. But it's like, I wasn't going to bust my butt over it. I hear a truck coming. I thought it was coming for recycling. But it was there longer. So I took a peek. And it was a chipper. A chipper showed up and was taking all the brush. Brush is gone. There you go. See, taxes are a burden. Yes, they are. Oh, well, thank you very much for stopping by, Cece. Enjoy your dinner. That's right. You're like 12-hour difference or something like that here than we are. It's just more, it's coffee time for us. Night, Cece. So anyways, so the brush is gone. The trash I had put out is gone. The only thing left out there now is recycling. And I think they changed the day in the recycling. I thought it was effective this coming weekend, but I guess maybe it's effective this last weekend. I don't know, because they didn't pick it up yesterday. So we'll see if they pick it up today. So that's been the fun time so far. Now, Sunday. Sunday was me time. My hair is sticking out. Bad hair morning. Oh, got to get this hair cut. Anyways, we went on a trail ride on Saturday. Not Saturday, Sunday. Sunday. Yeah, I don't know if you can see my face all scabbed up. I don't know if you can see my elbows all bruised up. This one's a little bit, but you probably can't see. The camera's not that good. That's got a little bit of skinning going on. Okay. I got a skin knee and a skin shin. Oh, it was a fun trail ride. We had a blast. And I am so sore and I am so beat up. Because oh my, your camera's knocked over? Was it knocked over by a critter? Two-legged or four-legged? Because mine was out front of my house. Because last night, my son comes in when I was cooking dinner and said that the recycling was knocked over and is all over the yard. Wow. I said, well, it's up now. Thank you for picking up for me. I don't know what the story was. My son went out and picked it up last night too. So we don't know if somebody kind of like pushed it off. I don't know. Huh. Well, hopefully it'll be gone today. And then my curb will be clean again until Monday morning, Sunday night, whatever. So my brother-in-law took a bunch of bags of trash, and you took a bunch of bags of trash. I'm really grateful, by the way. And you took more than what I expected you. I figured you only take a couple. My son said you took a bunch. So, and I'll just keep putting out, 5. Yeah, that's more than what I expected. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah. The neighbor on the one side, they're great people. He's been helpful when he can be, when he thinks about it, But the one on the other side, that's the one that's a real pain in the butt, you know. So I definitely won't miss her. This young couple on the side behind me, they seem to be pretty decent people. I don't have any problems with them. Good morning for Hearts Ranch. Yeah, I've already fed the cats. Dizzy will be feeding Honey for me this morning. So it's not too hard to feed her. Just throw her some hay. She's good to go. I am looking forward to being able to walk out my back door and feed my critters. At that point, live streaming may change on the time frame. I don't know. We'll play that by ear, but hopefully, when we move. But thank you very much for stopping in. I appreciate your presence. Yeah, I know, Dizzy. I hope that you can pretty soon. I really do. Oh, speaking of cats, that was another thing. Last week, we found some kittens in the garage. We cleaned out the garage last week, and we found some kittens. We had dragged out an old tarp, and we were going to put it in the trash. And after we got everything sorted and put back in what we were keeping and bagged up what was trash, the guy that was helping me was rolling it up. Thank you for the hearts. We were rolling it up to put it in trash, and the guy all of a sudden heard kittens mewing. And he thought it was coming from the pile of brush. And I stopped and listened and said, no, it's coming from the tarp you're rolling up. So he quickly unrolled it, and we found the kittens in this old blanket. And it's like, didn't even know the blanket was there. And there was 4 of them. So I said, okay, grab the dog crate that I had there and put the dog crate back in the spot where the tarp had been. Okay. And they grabbed the old blanket that the mother had used for bedding, and we put that in the crate. I left the crate door open so that she could go in with the kittens. And there was one kitten I wasn't sure about. But then later that night rather, she came to the kittens, figured she would, so I closed her in. So I had this mama cat and baby kittens in my garage in a dog crate. Okay, what am I going to do? As far as I knew, if I called animal control, they'd automatically put the cats down. And I didn't want that because I knew the kittens could be tamed because they were young enough. I figured they were maybe 2, 3 at the most weeks old, so quite young. So what I ended up doing is took some wood that we had in the garage, and I quickly just slapped together an extension for that dog crate. I didn't buy anything but a box of screws and everything else I had. So I slapped this extension together so she could have a little bit more space, so she wouldn't have to do her business in the crate with the kittens. And I could feed her in there and everything. And she was doing okay. So my sister, when she was here, found a post on Facebook about paws or something for feral cats. So she gave me the number, and I called them on Monday. And she called me back. She told me to go ahead and call animal control because they've got next to no cats in the shelter right now. So, I went ahead and did that. I called animal control. So they were going to come out yesterday in the evening and get her and get the kittens. I said, great, wonderful. I just bought food for them, and. So we go in the garage to get the cats. I had forgotten to put the bucket of sand on top of the hatch to keep it down. Mama cat got out. So I opened up the crate. I put some food in there for her. I said, she was wanting to take the kittens. She figured they would be fine without the mama. I said, yeah, but they'd be better off with the mama. And it's like, the kittens are great bait. I think the mama will come back. So she left without the kittens. Excuse me. And but the mama came back. So now I've got her closed up. I called them last night and left a message and let them know the mama cat's back. She is secured, and they can come anytime at all today. I'm home all day. So, yeah. So it has been a very, very exciting few days. Exhausting few days. I was barely moving on Monday. Oh, the trail ride, yes. Back to the trail ride. That was Sunday. Okay. I had no problem getting loaded up and everything like that. That was uneventful. Okay. So we get to this park. I had been there before with one of the other ladies that we were riding with, but we had entered from the opposite side. So we had never been on this side. And I think it's called Mananico or something. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's something like that. Beautiful area. And so anyway, this big parking lot, paved parking lot. So we pulled in there. We were in the middle. So I'm mounting. Yep. Okay. I'm mounting. We got the mounting block between the two trailers. Okay. And So I go to get on Honey. As usual, I'm the first one that's ready. Okay, because Honey is so easy to do. You know, she's quick and easy. I had groomed her mostly before we had loaded up, and so I just did a quick, finishing touches on her, threw the saddle on. She's like so quick and easy. And short, yeah, right. So I went to get on her. And this happened one time with my other horse too, who was taller. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was not balanced right or if she moved just the wrong way at just the wrong time or what. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I didn't get up in the saddle and I ended up not in the saddle and I hanging onto her neck and I ended up just going right on over. And I came down on the pavement. And that's how I skinned this elbow. It's like just skin my elbow and bruise my pride. That's all. It's like, really? I can't believe I did that. It's like, oh. So, and of course, everybody comes around. It's like, you all right? You're, oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just, bruised my pride a little bit. It's like, it's no big deal. Honey didn't really do anything. It's just, So they said, do you want me to hold her? No, she's fine. She's fine. And when I went to get up again, I checked the cinch and everything, and just to be sure. And I went to get up. She stood there good as gold, so it was no problem. I get up and she's good. We ride around a little bit, while waiting for everybody else to get on. And so, and everybody finally gets up. The one person is riding a side saddle with a buddy saddle for her granddaughter. So, and so that took a little bit longer to get that rigged up. And the granddaughter wasn't originally happy about riding in the buddy saddle because she thought she was going to ride her own horse. But that's another story. I think it was a good thing that she was not on a horse by herself this time for this trail, because this one was not for a beginner rider. Okay, the way we went and what we went through was not for a beginner rider. Really, it wasn't. It was beautiful, but it was a good idea that she was not on a horse by herself. So, so one of the things that they kept talking about before was that near the beginning of the trail, we had to go down a steep incline. Okay, just a steep hill. We had to go down. And I was a little concerned because I wasn't sure how Honey was going to do it, because Honey doesn't like that kind of thing. At least she hadn't in the past. But she did awesome. She did awesome. I held her back a little. I checked her just to make sure she wasn't going to be running downhill, because that's a bad thing. That's how they get hurt. And she did very good. She just simply walked down, and I waited till the other horse was not in the way before I let her go down. And everybody did the same thing, one horse at a time going down, with lots of space between us. So we did that, and that was fine. And we're going down, and I mean, there's trees and there's sand and a little bit of hills, bumps. Yeah, that's another thing. Well, I'm a fairly balanced rider, so. And we waited at the bottom of the hill for the person riding side saddle with the buddy saddle. And everything was going good. But we got to this little bit of an intersection with trees and sand and everything. And our guide, our acting guide, her horse, who is fairly green, for whatever reason, he spooked. And she came off. I don't think it was a buck. I do have it on video. I was recording this whole time. Except I was not recording when I went off when I was trying to mount Honey. I did not get that on video. So, but but I got where our guide came off her horse, and he like ran around and he ran up the hill, and then he stopped. He wasn't going to leave the other horses. So, and that was good. So, what? What, Dizzy? What do you say? There was no dam there. So, that's all right. I got something later. So, anyways, so I got that, and she got back on, and everything was good. So, we're doing water crossings. Honey did awesome. Honey was great. Somebody's horse, I don't remember which one, was a little hesitant at the water. Don't think it was Brandy. Brandy's always been good. Maybe it was Jenny. I don't know. Anyway, there was one horse that was a little hesitant at the water, but then it's fine. Okay. And there was just, some creeks or what have you, not very wide. And then we got to the sand washes. Okay. And Dizzy, I think you know what the sand washes are. Okay. Where the water's coming up from underground. They had dug sand out and the water was coming up from underground, and they're very, very deep. And they say there's an undertow, so you don't want to go in the deep area at all. Okay. They can be very treacherous. But our guide knew where certain spaces were where you could get through. It was like a sandbar. So twice we went through water that was up to, well, a little bit past Honey's belly because she was the shortest horse there. And I got my boots a little wet. So that's okay. That's okay. I had to keep my feet down there because I had to, keep her encouraged to go because she wasn't sure. This was the first time she had experienced that. She did great. She did wonderful. The first one especially, I had to keep encouraging her to get moving. Okay. So, so it was a beautiful area too, by the way. It was absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure that water felt good to her. And then after we got through that, then one of the riders wanted to stop for lunch. Okay. And the first place where she wanted to stop for lunch, well, there was no real good place to get back on because most of us needed some kind of a lift. Okay. Because I'm sorry, I have short legs and my leg will not fit up into the stirrup to get on the horse. Okay. And yeah, I could lower the stirrup, but then I have to adjust the stirrup back up. So, and that's more difficult to do when you're in the saddle. So I wasn't going to be dealing with that. It's easier to adjust the stirrup on an English saddle when you're in the saddle than on a Western. Okay. It's just the way it is. I have to mess with the sliding buckle, and it's easier to do that from the ground. So, excuse me, I think I'm boring Angel. Angel's sleeping here. Okay. So we're looking for a place to have lunch. And I saw a couple places as we went where it would have been good. There was a couple things. There was some kind of cement barrier there or something. We could have stopped there, but our guide kept going. And finally, we got to this big open sandy area, and we're just kind of milling around together and just kind of talking, discussing kind of where are we going, what are we looking for. And I was like, okay, there was a couple places there we could have managed. Okay. And we were just talking, and then all of a sudden, Jenny went down. That's an inside joke, Dizzy. They're not going to get that. So Jenny went down to have a roll in the sand. It's like, oh boy, yeah, we knew that was going to happen with somebody's horse. It's like, I was hoping it wasn't going to happen with Honey because we haven't done a lot of sand type trails involving water. It's like, this was the first one for her. And it's like, So we were laughing. It's like, oh yeah, ha ha ha. It's like, and then all of a sudden, Honey decided to go down, and it's like she's shorter, okay. So it's not a gradual. It's like all of a sudden, okay, we're down. Oh no, I didn't have hardly time to get my feet out of the stirrups or anything. I did manage to do that, only it was a very ungraceful dismount. And yeah, I probably should have just got back on her back, but I didn't. I wasn't. It's like, and I was in a bad position. I lost grip of her reins. And so when Honey got up, I was more interested in getting her up. I didn't want her to roll on my saddle. So I wasn't thinking about that. So she got out. She decided, I'm free. I can go. So she started running around. I was like, oh, great. My horse is going to run all the way back to the trailers or something. I don't know what she was going to do. So, so we're standing there still, everybody around, and she's running around, and our guide had come off of her horse, and she handed me her horse, and she was younger than all the rest of us, so she thought she was going to catch my horse. So she came running, trying to catch Honey. She went over that way, and then she went over that way, and so she had stopped opposite me from our group, okay, and I said, Honey, come here, and I was holding Poncho, and so she came just as somebody else was trying to walk to her to catch her. She ran right to me, okay, and she was close enough I could grab onto her reins and stop her. I mean, if I hadn't grabbed her, she probably would have kept going on by, okay, I suspect, because just the way she was. She didn't come right in front and stop. She was kind of like off to the side, but close enough that, I just grabbed her rein. No, not a whole lot of pressure or anything, and it was no big deal. So I said, I'll tell you, it's a wonderful thing to have a horse that comes when you call her. So we figured, okay, 2 horses were down. We figured, okay, well, I guess we're going to have lunch here. So we did. So we stopped. We had lunch. And when we made that decision, one other rider had dismounted, and at that point, her horse lay down. It's like what we're thinking at this point. Okay, when a horse lays down that saddle, we don't want them rolling on the saddle because you can break a saddle that way. Okay, so, and it's normal for a horse to want to roll in the sand. It feels good to them. Okay, it's normal. It's not that big a deal. Okay, but you really got to be prepared for it. So they were, trying. You'll see that in my video when I posted that. They're trying to get this other horse to get up. So I tied Honey in the shade, and we tied the other horses, in the shade, and we sat down. We had our lunch. Now, when I had her tied, that's when I turned the camera off. It's like just to save my battery. Okay, and when we mounted, we just had some rises. Okay, so I got on a rise where Honey was lower, so that I could just barely get my foot into the stirrup. Okay, and I had our tour. Yeah, tour. I keep on call her tour. She's one of the tour guides. She was our guide. Okay, I had her, because of the precariousness of mounting. I decided, okay, I'll have you hold Honey, just be on the safe side, because I was not in the best position, and to hold down on the opposite side stirrup. Okay, so I got on. It definitely was not graceful or fluid. Okay, but I still wasn't jumping on her back. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they like to stay with the horses, with the other horses. So we're all mounted up. Everything was good, and of course, after I mounted Honey, then I saw in the distance there was a rock that I could have used. It would have been easier, but oh well, it is what it is. I was already up. So then we started. We weren't really that far from the trailers. apparently. But then we started heading out towards the railroad tracks, and the trail was a little bit closer, and there was also some ice storm damage where the trees were a little lower. And that's where I caught a branch in the face. And that will probably be on video because, of course, I was bleeding profusely. Well, the face does bleed heavily anyway. Okay, so it's like, at least I didn't drip on my shirt. And somebody had napkins. I used to have like first aid stuff in my horn bag that I would carry. Well, my horn bag died. So I need to get a new horn bag and either get one or make one. Right now I'm not making anything because I'm so busy. But so thankfully somebody had something and I blotted it and got it to stop bleeding. So excuse me. So anyways, so I got the branch in the face and we're riding along and we're going, oh, this one section of trail was really bad. I mean, we had to weave in through some very tight trees. Thankfully, Honey was pretty easy to steer. And by the way, I'm loving that leather bed. And I know I need to do an update video on the leather bed, but I'm loving it. I don't think Honey particularly cares for the taste of it. So I don't know if there's something I can put on it to improve the taste for her. But she responds very well. I mean, very light. I don't need any pressure hardly at all. It's forming to the shape of her mouth. Anyways, I'll discuss that more in another video when I do an update. But anyway, so she was steering very well, very nicely. She was listening to me for going through all these tight trees. So everything was going good, but I don't even remember where I did that. I really don't remember where I did that, but it is sore. I probably knocked it on a tree or something. I did end up banging my knee on a tree. It was really close, and I didn't quite get her over enough. And I also caught a branch that was sticking out on my shin. So, I mean,